Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, let me walk you through some of the new things that we've done this week. But the overall level looks rather similar than the video to the video that we did the other day. But this week, if you look at the details, you're going to see quite a few differences. So let's come on in here. And the first thing that we've done here that's a lot different than last week is we've got a lot of the new plumbing and the new electrical going in everywhere. And you can see that really clearly here in the kitchen. This is all new plumbing, that because these floors are concrete, you've got to kind of take a jackhammer and get rid of that concrete. You take all the new copper pipe that you see. This is going to be for our sink. There's going to be a 3-meter island that's going to extend from about right here all the way over to about right here. This is for the dishwasher. So this is going to be the electrical, and then the water for the dishwasher. This is for the sink, which will be right here, and that'll be right in line with the cooktop, which will be right here. And you've got the hood that will be right here. So here's the electrical for that hood. And then up there, you can see where we've got the vent for the hood. That's going to go all the way around there and then out the window. And basically all the green pipe that you see is all electrical. All these white things that you see in the ceilings, those are where the wires come out for the specific lights. So everywhere where you see a white thing up here that's between two green pipes, or between two PVC pipes, that's going to be a light. And then coming back, we have a wall that we built. And when we build new walls, we actually don't build concrete walls like they used to in 20 years ago. We actually build drywall, like some walls like we do back in the States. The difference is we're just using metal studs as opposed to wood studs. And that's for a lot of different reasons. So it's a lot like an office building back home. The main reason is termites, I think. And so then you'd have a door right here, and this will go right back into the maid's quarters. And so as you walk back here, you have your stackable washer dryer right here. This is space that we're going to leave for the pantry, and this I believe will go over here. But this is your gas, so that's going to be the main gas, and then this is the gas for the dryer. And we've got the new tile that went down here for the maid's quarters, and this is one of our main electrical panels here. You can see all these wires hanging out, and again you get a better view of this vent that's coming, and that's coming out to vent all the air from that hood that goes over our cooktop. And you'll notice a window right here. It's not going to blow into a window. We're replacing this with kind of some a more vent type thing that's going across, so that'll get access to the outside there directly. And let's see, mostly tile going in here. If I can, maybe, I don't know if you got enough light to see in here. Is there enough light? You can see just maybe a little bit that there's this stone right here, and the floor of the shower is actually the same stone, and you notice we've got kind of a gray grout there and a very neutral colored tile. The reason I did that is not to get fancy with the maid's quarters, but we're using this stone as a design feature for a lot of the other bathrooms and kind of all over. So I wanted to test it here in the maid's bathroom, so if we could kind of work out all the kinks and figure out where we might make mistakes and where it's difficult to use, where it's hard to use. So the fact that I just used it right here and then on the floor, it's not really a design choice or to make the maid's quarters look nice. It's more just as a trial and error thing, so we can figure it out here, so when we do take the stone and use it in some of the other bathrooms, we understand how to use it. coming back out here, you'll notice some of the subtle things that we're doing. All these edges were rounded. You had a rounded edge here. Over here, this whole thing was built out and then a rounded edge here. This came out and was the rounded edge right here. So what I did is I demoed that, and then we went in with drywall, built new squared edges here that obviously look a lot more modern. And we've done that in a variety of different places. I'll kind of point them out as we go. Oh, another big thing that we did that you can't see is this area right here behind this kind of built-in goes all the way down to the garage. And back 20 years ago when they built this, they didn't have any, they didn't really ground their electrical. So we wanted to do that to get things up to the same standards and the same, to abide by the same type of code that you'd have back in the United States. So since the unit isn't grounded, you can't put in the electrical for a ground. It won't make any difference because the unit's not grounded, nor was the building. So we had to go down and ground the entire building and then take that ground from the bottom floor, bring it all the way up here, so we could then ground each one of the electrical outlets for the unit itself. So that was a big deal, but something that you just can't see. Coming over here, no, I'm sorry, that's just more electrical. This is where our guest bath for the downstairs is going to be. We rearranged some of the plumbing, some of the toilet. We had to reconfigure some of the pipes up there to make room on the other side for the shower. But going to be a pretty good size guest bath. In here, you can see they're starting to put in the drywall for the ceilings. And this was a real challenge because the height of these frames for these windows was literally different in almost every room. You know, fractionally different, maybe an inch here, 2 inches there. And so if we would have put the ceiling all at the same height, when you walked into the room, you would have seen a different, the frame would have looked different. In one room, you would have seen, you know, it would have gone down to the top of the window, and the next room it would have gone down to the top of the frame. So right when you walked into the room, the frame would look different. It would be really weird. So we had to calculate that, and then we had to drop our ceiling to a height that's just, you know, an inch or two higher, an inch or two lower. So that every time you walk into a room, whether it's the main living area or a bedroom, that you would see the same amount of frame when you just walked right in. And it sounds easy, but it was very, very difficult to do. It's also kind of a difficult process to even notice. That's just all demo stuff in there, so we'll save that bathroom for next week. Oh, one thing over here that you can see we're doing is this is, we're putting in all the piping and all the electrical for air conditioning. So in Medellin, the weather is so nice that no one has air conditioning. Even in very high-end properties and expensive houses, you just don't need it. There's no air conditioning, there's no heat, it's just 70 degrees every day. But we wanted to add that to our property just in case there's someone coming from the States that wants to buy it or rent it. If they wanted that feature, they've got it. So we're not going to be putting in the actual unit, but we're putting in all the infrastructure for the individual air conditioning units. So if someone wants it, a renter or buyer, we've got the option for it. Yeah, and you can see how that goes all up through the ceiling and down through the walls, and that was a rather extensive process as well. Okay, coming down the hall, we've got the ceiling. We put that in. we took out all that concrete crown molding. Here we had a rounded edge that we squared off with drywall. In this bedroom, you can see we had to get creative with the way we did the ceiling to make sure that you can see the same amount of frame everywhere, like I was saying before. This used to be a window, which it was kind of odd. So we demoed that this week. That's something new, and we're just going to put a normal wall right here, so you'll just have a room that won't have this view into the office and to the outside. And again, you can see the AC infrastructure here, for lack of a better term, for that unit that we'll have. Or we won't have a unit, but we'll have the option for the unit. We started to demo this bathroom, but you can see the original tile on here. This was from when it was built. This tile was from when it was built 20 years ago, and I guess they might have remodeled, believe it or not. They couldn't have remodeled within the last 10 years, but who knows. But they had tile placed right on the outside of this, which we didn't even know about. When we started taking off the tiles, we saw this. So we took out this entire window, as you can see, because I didn't see a need for it going into the shower. So we're going to replace it with a window going about right here, and then building the wall over. And this, where I'm standing right here, will be the actual shower. Right now, you can see even from this bathroom, you're going to have a really great view of Medellin. All right, we'll keep going here. You can see we've had to jackhammer the floor right here. I believe that is for the air conditioning, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because you can see it's coming right here and going up to where an air conditioning unit will be if someone wants to put it there. So I'm guessing that's probably drainage for the condensation for the AC unit itself. And see here again, we've got kind of the structure for the ceiling in place. We've got the new wall for the bathroom. I think we had that last week. We've got the new plumbing for the shower. You can see here that one of the cool things that we did is where most people would have a shower. This is where your handles are going to be for the hot water and cold water. They have the shower head sticking out right here. What we did is we took it up and we're having it come straight down. And one of the reasons I did that is so you could turn on the water right here and the water comes down without having to get your arm wet. One of the things that's kind of annoying to me when I go to hotels is I'll stick my arm in to put on the hot water and you can't help but get your arm doused. And I don't like that. So we made sure that with every bathroom we designed it so you could put your arm in the shower, turn on the hot water, cold water without getting any water on your arm before it gets warm. And that ceiling needs a level. Obviously we didn't use the level on that ceiling yet, but we'll get to it. That'll be next week. And then this bedroom is more of the same. You can see we've got the new ceilings in. We've got the new cutout for the air conditioning. We've got the TV cable and electrical there for the TV. Same thing that we had to do as far as measure to make sure that when this is done, you see the same amount of frame that you do in the other bedrooms. If the windows look terrible, that's because they are. They've got this terrible old film. It's like a tint thing, like a bad tint job. So when we get done with everything, we're to come in and redo the windows. take all that off. If it doesn't look brand new, we'll replace the windows. But believe it or not, we think that we can just refurbish the windows and make them look brand new. So that'll be the last thing that we do. We got the stairs, kind of the frame or the framework for the stairs done this week. They had the concrete laid, so if you recall, this was all just empty space. That went back there. Originally, this was all walled off, but we opened it up. And the idea here is we're going to put stone on this side. We're going to have a wine rack right here. It's going to be really lit with LEDs. It'll look really cool. And then we've got glass that will go up like that and then up the side. But this is going to be kind of a really neat artistic space from a design standpoint when we're done. Like I said, it was closed off. I felt it was a waste of space. So it's just one of those things where you're trying to take lemons and turn it into lemonade. So hopefully we can take something that was kind of an eyesore and turn it into something that looks really, really cool. We'll see how it turns out. And then up here we had more demo work with the ceiling up there that got replaced. This was rounded right here, and we squared it off. We've got, I guess this is old electrical, we might be closing that off. And then we've got glass that will be coming up here as well. And then that glass will come right up here, and then it will go all the way across here. And then coming back, let's see, we got new framework here for the ceiling. That was done this week. We've got that in. This is going to be our guest bath for the upstairs. And we've got the ceiling went across there. Coming into the master bedroom, we did the ceiling here, as you can see. All the plumbing for the reworking of the plumbing was done this week for the master bath. It was a pretty big job because again, this is concrete, so they had to jackhammer everything here, and I completely reconfigured the way the layout for the master bath. So this was a pretty big job. You can see plumbing here. This is going to be for a double vanity that will go right here. Our shower will be right where I'm standing. You can see how, I don't know if you can, but this plumbing was over here. And again, it's something that I had to move from here over here while we've still got the shower head that will be coming out here. And again, the reason I did that is to make sure you're going to have glass right here. So the entrance to the shower will be right here. And when you come into the entrance, I wanted the handles for the hot and cold water in front of where the shower head is. You can see that where the shower head is going to be right there. So what will happen is when you're right here standing outside of the shower, you can turn on the water and the stream of water will be right here so you won't get your arm wet or you won't get soaked with cold water before it warms up. Whereas if we would have had it over here where most people, most builders would do it, you'd go like this and you get your arms soaked with water. And again, it's just kind of one of my pet peeves. So